We now look at vector product. The vector product of two vectors A and B, denoted by A times B, is defined as follows. A cross B is perpendicular to both A and B. The vector product of two vectors A and B gives you a vector A cross B, which is perpendicular to both A and B. And the direction of A cross B is given by the right-hand rule. The right-hand rule is what I mentioned earlier when you draw your X, Y, and Z axis. So you use your index finger to point to the vector A, the first vector A. Then your middle finger points to the vector B. Then the thumb will point to the direction of the vector A cross B. So the index finger will point to A, the middle finger points to B. Then your thumb will point to the vector A cross B. And the magnitude A cross B is magnitude A, magnitude B sine theta. So which means if you consider A cross A, then it will be equal to magnitude A sine 0. The angle between A and A is 0, but sine of 0 is 0. So that means A cross A will have a magnitude 0. So A cross A will give you a 0 vector. So A cross B is perpendicular to both A and B. You use the right-hand rule. And you'll find that if you consider B cross A and A cross B, they differ by minus. Because if you interchange your index finger and the middle finger, so if you consider V1 cross V2 is pointing up, so if you consider V2 cross V1, then your index finger must point to V2, your middle finger points to V1. Then you will find that eventually it will be pointing down if you look at V2 cross V1. So that means V1 cross V2, and V2 cross V1, they are in opposite direction. So it's opposite direction. So that's why they differ by a minus sign. They point in opposite direction, but they are parallel. So that's why A cross B is negative B cross A. And just how I mentioned, A cross A will be 0 because you consider A cross B is actually magnitude A cross B is magnitude of A, magnitude of B sine theta. So if you consider A cross A, then the angle will be 0. The angle between vector A and vector A is 0. And for special cases, if you draw I here, J here, then you'll find that if you take the vector product I with J, it gives you a vector, a right angle to both I and J, and that's the vector K. We know it's vector K because K is perpendicular to both I and J. So if you consider vector I cross vector J, you should get vector K. Same thing if you consider vector J cross vector K, you get I. Then K and I, you get J. If you consider lambda of A cross B, you'll find that the answer will be same as lambda A cross B or A cross lambda B for any scalar lambda. And you can also expand out like this. A cross, it means A vector product B plus C. It's just the vector product A and B plus vector product A and C.